chosen one. Don't look for money is coming. You are walking through a realm right now that is designed to confuse those who are not chosen. But for you, there is clarity, there is purpose, and there is a shift that is moving you beyond the surface level chase. This message is not for the world, it is for you. The others may keep chasing coins. They may keep running after what was never meant to be chased. They may continue trading their peace for survival, but you, chosen one, have reached the threshold where what used to elude you will now find you instead. What once seemed like an endless search will now feel like a divine delivery. What you used to strive for will soon start to arrive without force, without begging, without stress. The time of looking for money with worry, fear, or desperation is over. A new season has come, and it's carrying everything you used to look for in your own strength. Watch this video until the very end, because somewhere in these words is a code for your soul. Write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. This is a chapter about wishes coming true, about activating the energy of alignment, about letting the universe echo back to you what you speak with faith. This is not just about prosperity. This is about power, spiritual power that transforms how blessings reach you. By writing your wish, you are speaking life over the invisible and breathing belief into the arrival of what you deserve. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's begin. Money was never supposed to be your master. It was never supposed to be your motivator, your mirror, or your measure. That's the lie that society built, that religion reinforced, and that systems designed to keep you small continue to spread. But you are not like them. You were never made to live under the influence of lack. You are called to walk in overflow, but overflow doesn't come to those who chase. It comes to those who become. You are not called to chase after money. You are being transformed into the kind of person that money cannot resist. Let that sink in. You are becoming irresistible to what once avoided you. You are becoming magnetic to the very provision you once had to search the earth for. And it's not because you're lucky, it's because you're aligned. You don't have to look for it anymore, because you're stepping into a season where your presence is the announcement, where your obedience is the open door, where your spirit has already done the searching and the signal has already been sent. Something has been activated in the atmosphere around you, and now the supply is tracking your location. Money is not coming because you need it. It is coming because your purpose requires it. It's not responding to fear anymore. It's responding to function. God is funding the assignment, and you are the vessel. That means your elevation is inevitable. Your provision is scheduled. Your resources are already on the way because heaven has approved your assignment. You see, most people don't understand this. They still operate from the lower mindset that tells them the more they run, the more they gain. But that's not kingdom logic. That's worldly hustle. You don't chase because what is yours is designed to recognize you. You don't compete because you've already been chosen. You don't beg because royalty doesn't kneel for what's already in their inheritance. There is a frequency you are now walking in. And everything that belongs to you is tuning into that signal. The people, the provision, the promotion, it is all on the way. Not because you're reaching for it, but because you're rising into it. Chosen one, you must now unlearn the patterns that taught you to chase. You must silence the voices that told you money only comes through pressure, through panic, through performance. That was their way, not yours. Your wealth doesn't come through burnout. It flows through belief. Your income is not tied to effort alone. It is anchored to instruction. When you walk in divine obedience, every step becomes a magnet for the miraculous. This is why you feel the shift. This is why your soul knows something is different, because you are no longer praying from a place of poverty. You are declaring from a position of purpose. You're not being arrogant. You're being accurate. You're not being dramatic. You're being divinely informed. You are not wrong to expect great things. You are not wrong to believe that money is coming. You are not wrong to feel like something major is on the verge of arrival, because it is. It absolutely is. Something you stopped chasing is now chasing you with speed and accuracy. Something you thought would take years is about to happen suddenly. Something you gave up on is about to find its way back into your life, but this time without resistance. And listen carefully. The reason this is happening now is because your energy has shifted. You're no longer vibrating at the frequency of fear. You've stopped asking how will it happen and started trusting it is happening. You've surrendered the timing but held firm to the belief. You've stopped forcing it to appear and instead created the atmosphere where it wants to appear. That's the secret most people miss. Money doesn't respond to fear. It retreats from it. It doesn't respect manipulation. It honors alignment. And you, dear chosen one, have finally aligned with something deeper than hustle. You've aligned with your inheritance. So now, do not look for money. Do not fall back into the habit of wondering when, or how, or through who. That's no longer your job. You've done your part. You've planted seeds in silence. You've obeyed even when it cost you comfort. You've trusted even when you had no proof. And because of that, a release is on the horizon. A divine release that will not only sustain you, but surprise you. One transaction, one phone call, one act of favor can flip the entire narrative of your life. And it won't be because you chased it. It will be because you positioned yourself for it. Do you feel that anticipation in the air? That is the evidence that something has been set in motion. That is your confirmation. Don't ignore it. Don't downplay it. This is your appointed time. And everything you once had to fight for is now coming without warfare. That doesn't mean you won't face resistance. It just means the resistance won't work, because what's coming for you is sealed. What's moving toward you is marked, and what's unfolding is irreversible. Heaven has already spoken, and the earth is catching up. Everything is coming into alignment because you are in alignment. Stay in this frequency, chosen one. Keep your heart open and your spirit quiet. Do not distract yourself by chasing shadows. What is meant for you is walking into your reality now. You don't need to force anything, just remain faithful. Your obedience has built a bridge. Your patience has unlocked the promise, and your identity has activated the overflow. This is not about chasing money. It's about stepping into the kind of abundance that was always your birthright. And just like that, the very thing you stopped looking for will appear. Something powerful begins to happen when you stop living as if money is your master and begin moving as if money is your servant. You are not here to be owned by currency. You are here to command it without words, to attract it without compromise, and to use it as a tool instead of worshipping it as a prize. This season, chosen one, is not about you bowing to bills. It's about bills bowing to you. You're entering a shift where money no longer intimidates you, no longer escapes you, and no longer defines you. The chase is over. You've stopped running, and that has made you spiritually rich long before the financial proof arrives. The world will measure you by what you have in your hand, but heaven already approved you based on what you carry in your heart. And your heart is pure. Your hands are clean. Your posture is right. You didn't cheat to get ahead. And now you won't have to beg to stay afloat. There is a new pattern forming around you now. You've started noticing that your energy feels calmer, your trust feels stronger, and your spirit feels lighter. That's not a coincidence. That's not you being delusional or overly optimistic. That's the sign of a new flow beginning. Your life is no longer controlled by lack, and because of that, you're starting to breathe in ways you couldn't before. You used to hold your breath every time a bill showed up. You used to clench your teeth when the balance was low. But look at you now. You've let go of the panic. You've replaced worry with wisdom. You've traded anxiety for authority. And in doing that, you've become the kind of vessel that the supernatural loves to fill. Money is on the way to your life, not because you've screamed for it, but because you've shifted your state into peace. Do you understand how rare that is? The world is full of noise. People talking about how to get rich, how to hustle harder, how to climb faster. But very few understand the power of stillness. And you, chosen one, have stepped into that sacred stillness. You've stopped needing everything to happen now and have allowed the divine timing to work on your behalf. And guess what? That spiritual maturity is wealth all by itself. That kind of peace is magnetic. The universe recognizes that energy. The angels recognize that signature. Heaven sees your faith, and it multiplies what your hands are too tired to build. There are things coming into your life now that you didn't even remember praying for. Silent prayers, tears that had no words, groans that only the Spirit could interpret. And those moments, chosen one, are now producing miracles. The moment you stopped looking for money in desperation, the door opened for money to find you in abundance. That's the twist nobody talks about. When you stop operating from the energy of lack, the energy of overflow starts to flow toward you naturally. This is not about pretending you don't need money. This is about knowing that you're no longer enslaved by the idea that money defines your future. Money is not your identity, it's your resource. And because your identity is rooted in something higher, you're about to start receiving in ways that no longer make logical sense. God is bypassing systems for your sake. He's rewriting policies. He's reversing denials. He's softening hearts. He's opening files that were closed. He's stirring up generosity from strangers. You thought it would take connections, but it's going to take alignment. And you have that already. So stop looking for money like it's lost. It was never lost. It was never far. It was waiting for you to arrive at this frequency. It was waiting for you to stop treating yourself like a beggar and start walking like the blessed soul you truly are. You don't have to shrink to receive. You don't have to sacrifice your joy to pay your rent. You don't have to downgrade your life just to survive another month. This is not about cutting corners anymore. This is about watching God widen the road under your feet. You are about to step into a space that cannot be earned the normal way. It must be revealed. And that revelation is already happening. Every chosen one eventually reaches this moment. The moment when you finally understand that the money you were looking for was never outside of you. It was always trying to respond to the version of you that believed in the unseen more than the seen. Faith is the key. Obedience is the strategy. Peace is the gateway. You stopped looking for a miracle, and the miracle decided to come looking for you. That's the level you've tapped into. That's the vibration that changes everything. You are no longer begging for what belongs to you. You are walking like someone who knows it is inevitable. And that walk, that confidence, That alignment is triggering miracles behind the scenes. I need you to understand just how divine this moment really is. The reason it feels quiet is because something huge is loading. The silence is not absence. It is set up. The stillness is not punishment. It is preparation. Everything around you is being positioned for a supernatural arrival. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it. That inner confirmation, that inner yes, that's your signal. That's your proof. The money is coming. And it is not just coming to meet your needs. It is coming to exceed them. It is coming to fund the dream. It is coming to heal what broke your trust. It is coming to restore the years the struggle tried to steal. And the beauty is you no longer have to look for it. What would your life look like if you truly believed that you were being funded from above? What would shift if you stopped reacting in panic and started responding in peace? The atmosphere around you is responding to your expectations. Chosen one. That's why your thoughts matter. That's why your words carry so much weight. That's why your posture is shaping the outcome. You've chosen to believe something bigger. You've chosen to rest in what others wrestle with. You've chosen to stop chasing and start becoming. And now the harvest is in motion. Now the floodgates are creaking open. Now the release is being processed on your behalf. It won't be long now. Something big is coming. You'll see it, you'll feel it, you'll hold it. You'll know deep in your spirit that it wasn't because of effort, it was because of elevation. And every time you tried to make it happen in the past and failed, you were being prepared to receive it without the weight of stress, without the stain of striving, without the damage of doubt. This time, when the blessing arrives, it will fit. This time, when the increase comes, you'll know what to do with it. This time, when the doors open, you'll be standing on the other side with nothing but peace in your hands and purpose in your eyes. Stay calm, stay patient, stay faithful, because what's coming isn't just about wealth, it's about witness. The way money finds you in this season will be a testimony. People will ask how you did it. They'll wonder what system you used. They'll look for the trick, the hustle, the hidden method, but you won't have one to show. You'll simply say, I stopped looking for money, and it started looking for me. That's the kind of miracle you're about to walk into. That's the kind of favor no one can deny. And it's coming soon. You can feel it, can't you? There comes a time in every chosen one's life when they must detach emotionally from the idea that survival is tied to a system, when they must break the unspoken agreement that their worth is determined by their income, when they stop assigning their value based on how much they have, and start recognizing that what they carry within is already priceless. And chosen one, you've reached that point. This shift is not something you begged for. It's something you were prepared for through pain, through delay, through misunderstanding. You were stretched in secret so you could stand in public. And now, because you've stopped bowing to the idol of money, money has no choice but to kneel before your destiny. There's something divine in your posture now, something sacred in your stillness, something attractive in your alignment. And heaven has taken notice. Every system that once rejected you because you lacked proof is about to witness what happens when heaven overrides protocols. You've stopped looking for money. And in that surrender, you've become a lighthouse for provision. It's no longer a question of if. It's only a matter of how soon. You've walked through seasons of not having enough, but you never let lack change your loyalty. You stayed faithful when it made no sense. You sowed when you were the one in need. You smiled when you wanted to scream. You blessed others when your own hands felt empty. And now, the laws of divine justice are activating on your behalf. There is a wealth wave coming that will not bypass your address. Your name is on it. Your obedience activated it. Your pain qualified you for it. And the beautiful, humbling, exhilarating truth is this: you don't even need to search for the opportunity. You don't have to chase the next contract, force the next deal, or manipulate the next door. The door is already open. The blessing is already tracking you. It's coming through the most unusual sources, places you didn't expect, people you've never met, situations that once looked like rejection, but were actually redirection. You were being positioned all along, and now the position you hold spiritually is unlocking provision in the natural. You may have thought you were disqualified, but you were just hidden. You may have believed you were forgotten, but you were actually reserved. Chosen one, listen with your soul. The real reason money is on the way is not because you finally figured out how to earn it. It's because you've stopped believing it had to be earned in the way the world demanded. You've stopped worshipping the grind. You've stopped measuring your significance by your salary. You've stopped feeling ashamed for needing help. And in that space of surrender, a holy transaction has occurred. You've entered divine flow. And in divine flow, the laws of labor bend to the power of alignment. What used to require sweat now yields to your stillness. What once took years of toil now responds to your presence. You've stepped into that dimension where favor is more effective than effort, where being chosen cancels out every disadvantage. No more wondering how you'll make ends meet. No more fearing the last few dollars in your account. No more repeating cycles of almost and not yet. You've stopped looking for money, and now money is searching for someone it can rest upon. And that someone is you, not because you have all the answers, but because you carry the atmosphere, not because you begged, but because you believed, not because you compromised, but because you cultivated peace. And peace is expensive in a world addicted to panic. Peace is the currency of this new level, and you have it now. The people who laughed at your lack are about to watch your overflow. Those who mistook your stillness for failure are about to witness your supernatural acceleration. You may have been quiet, but you were never stagnant. You may have been overlooked, but never ignored by heaven. And now the divine spotlight is shifting towards you, not to make you famous, but to make God's goodness undeniable through your story. Your life is about to become evidence. Your account is about to reflect the glory that your soul has carried for years in silence. You see, while others were building their castles on manipulation and image, you were building on integrity. While they rushed to be seen, you stayed hidden to be refined. While they pursued profits, you pursued peace. And now, the great reversal is here. The last will be first. The quiet ones will be called. The forgotten ones will be funded. And you, chosen one, will be among them. Not because you played the game, but because you lived by a higher code. You stopped looking for money because you finally realized it was never your source. God was. And because you've acknowledged that, you've activated something in the atmosphere that cannot be undone. Money is not just coming. It's coming with assignment. It's coming with acceleration. It's coming with authority. It's coming in amounts that your past could never contain. And it's coming without the shame you used to feel about wanting more. This time it will feel different because you'll know that it's not here to define you. It's here to obey you. You won't be impressed by it. You'll be intentional with it. You'll build with it. You'll bless others with it. You'll move in wisdom with it. Because this time, you'll remember what it cost you to learn what truly matters. There is no need to panic, no need to fear a missed opportunity. If it passed you by, it was not the one. If it disappeared, it was not the door. If it didn't work out, it was making room for what will. The right resource is never late. The right blessing is never rushed. The right breakthrough will not require you to beg. It will arrive like confirmation, clear, undeniable, divinely wrapped in peace. That's the energy of this next season. That's the atmosphere around you now. A deep stillness that feels like calm, but is actually the prelude to overflow. The quiet before the arrival, the breath before the breakthrough, the pause before the payment. Stay there. Stay in that energy. Stay in the knowing because you've stopped looking. The blessing can arrive unblocked because you've let go of control. You're ready to receive with both hands. Because you've stopped chasing it, you've made space for it to chase you. And because you've trusted the divine plan, even when it made no sense, your story is about to make everyone take notice. Not of you, but of the God who never let you fall. Even when it looked like you had nothing left. And so, the message remains clear. Don't look for money. Look for peace, and money will find you. Look for alignment, and money will find you. Look for the path that makes your soul feel whole, and the provision will arrive before you even finish the journey. This is how heaven funds those who walk by faith. This is how the chosen ones rise quietly, suddenly, supernaturally. You've entered a season where things are going to happen for you faster than your logic can process, and smoother than your fears can sabotage. Not because you forced them, not because you fought harder than everyone else, but because you stopped running after things that were already written in your scroll. You finally realized that what is divine cannot be delayed forever, and what is destined cannot be destroyed by the delay. The money is coming not because you hunted it down, but because your spirit is now so aligned, so surrendered, and so grounded that you've become a walking destination for divine resources. When people look at you, they won't understand it. They'll say it was sudden. They'll call it luck. They'll try to credit coincidence. But chosen one, you'll know. You'll remember the nights you went without, the days you smiled while silently struggling, the months where you gave your last, the moments where you kept giving even when nothing was coming back. You'll remember and you'll know. This is not random. This is reward. Because here's the unshakable truth. Money is not the miracle. Alignment is, obedience is, energy is, and once those are in order, the money must follow. It cannot resist the pull of a life that has surrendered its identity to purpose and chosen one. That's what you've done. You've become the kind of person that provision looks for, not someone who's loud about wanting to get rich, not someone who's pretending to be someone they're not just to impress or attract opportunities. You're not putting on a show. You're not playing a part. You're simply being. And that being is so anchored in truth that what you need is magnetized to your stillness. And now you're walking into a season where the absence of striving will confuse your past. You won't be working harder. You'll be working wiser. You won't be stressed. You'll be strategic. You won't be chasing down every open door. You'll walk through the one that swings open when you arrive. And money will be on the other side waiting. Why? Because money is no longer your God. It's your guest. And you, chosen one, are learning how to host it. You're learning how to let it serve you, not own you. You're discovering that when you stop worshipping what you need, it comes in as a servant to what you're called to build. This is a divine economy you're stepping into now. It doesn't follow the logic of the world. The world tells you to scramble, to hustle endlessly, to sacrifice your soul for status. But in this divine economy, rest creates results. Trust triggers overflow. And the key isn't your effort, it's your essence. When you become who you were created to be, provision is inevitable. Money becomes a byproduct of clarity, a reward for being aligned with purpose, a companion on your journey, not the destination. And that is why the moment you stopped looking for it in fear, it began moving toward you in fullness. This shift is not only going to affect your finances, it's going to affect your identity. You won't even recognize the version of you who used to beg God just to get through the week. That person is being replaced, transformed, reconstructed into someone who doesn't beg, doesn't panic, doesn't shrink in the face of lack. You are not the struggler anymore. You are the steward. You are not the borrower. You are the blueprint. You are not the anxious one. You are the architect. This entire narrative is flipping, and you're going to feel it not just in your wallet, but in your walk, in your words, in your wisdom. Money is coming, yes. But even greater than that, mastery is coming. Mastery of your thoughts, mastery of your atmosphere, mastery of your time, mastery of your response. Because this is the era of divine maturity, the season where you no longer chase what distracts, but attract what aligns. You've graduated, you've ascended, you've evolved past panic, and the blessings that used to require struggle are now being delivered through surrender. The money that once made you cry is now going to make you calm. The lack that once consumed your thoughts will be replaced by gratitude so overwhelming you'll no longer need proof to praise. You'll live in expectation. Not the anxious kind, but the grounded, joyful, mature kind of expectation that says, I don't know how, but I know it's coming. And that kind of energy is what wealth responds to. Now, when people see you at peace in the middle of uncertainty, they won't understand that your faith has upgraded. When they see you calm while others are collapsing, they won't realize that your provision doesn't come from people. It comes from promise. When they see your life bloom without you begging for a seat at their tables, they'll wonder where your confidence comes from. But you'll know it comes from the revelation that you don't have to look for money because you are now walking with the one who owns it all. Chosen one. Do you understand how powerful that is? You're not operating from scarcity anymore. You're not waking up and feeling like you're already behind. You're not scrolling through your feed comparing your timeline to others. You've stopped looking outside for confirmation and started anchoring yourself within. That shift alone has changed everything. Because once you stop letting money define your joy begins to define your supply. That joy becomes your currency. That trust becomes your open heaven. That stillness becomes the magnet. You've cracked the code, not through striving, but through surrender. And now the evidence is coming. You'll see it in the emails, in the sudden offers, in the divine deposits, in the favor that makes no sense, in the doors you didn't knock on but opened anyway, in the calls you didn't expect but needed, in the way everything starts to line up like it was just waiting on you to stop forcing it. That's the secret. You're no longer forcing. It's flowing. And that flow is real, consistent, undeniable. You're not dreaming it. You're discerning it. You're not fantasizing. You're stepping into fulfillment. Every step forward from here is sponsored by obedience. Every leap is cushioned by grace. Every move is covered. So don't look back. Don't shrink. Don't second-guess your intuition. Don't silence your knowing. You're being funded in ways that exceed logic. You're being positioned in places your resume couldn't qualify you for. You're being spoken of in rooms you've never entered. You're being remembered by people who forgot everyone else. Why? Because your name is attached to a greater purpose. Because your spirit carries divine fingerprints. Because your alignment has made you unforgettable. You didn't need to go viral. You needed to go vertical, to rise, to believe, to ascend spiritually. And now that you've done that, nothing can stop what's coming. Everything that felt delayed was actually divinely timed. Everything you cried about in lack is becoming the stage for your surplus. Everything that felt like a loss was just clearing space for the life you actually deserve. And now, chosen one, as the money comes, as the doors open, as the abundance begins to unfold,